Who wants to be a millionaire? I know I do. If you do, check out this video. I'm going to show you how. Let's get into it right now. What's up, congratulators? Yo, what's up? I'm Xavier Garcia. If you're new to the channel, this is the Ultimate Psychology channel, creating tons of videos to carry your life. One of the main components of your life to have mastery over, aside from your relationships, from your health and fitness, is of course money, 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 right? Money. Okay, check it out. Look, money makes the world go round, they say, okay? If we don't have enough of it, we can go in super scarcity mode, as the Bible says. Lord, bless me with enough money so that I don't have to, beg or steal. And of course, not so much money that I forget to rely on you. So check this out. Tony Robbins, the guru of motivation and strategic planning for mastering your life totally, all through and through, my primary role model here in this industry. He came out with a book that was inspired by the 2008 financial crisis that we experienced here in America and of course all across the world. And he was frustrated and saw that people were being shaken to the core, right? Emotionally, first and foremost, and of course financially. People were, with good intentions on both sides of the aisle, with people saying, hey, give me your money, I'll invest it for you. And those people, as sincere as their hearts were, didn't exactly know what they were doing either. And it caused a global meltdown. And so that drove him and inspired him to, ask the question, what can I do for my country? What can I do, about this? And he decided to write a book. He hates writing books. He said he'd rather get his teeth pulled than to go through the painstaking work of putting words together and editing and amassing all this information in one, small spot. But he did. He went for it. He cares. And of course, I picked it up a while back myself. I read it once through, and it was called Money Master the Game. And this book is like 600 and something pages. It's a behemoth of a book. It's not likely, with the average American, if you do read, is not likely to read past the first chapter. And when you got a book that is from 600-700 pages, it's not like you're going to get very deep in it. And then on top of that, you're not going to learn the lessons that can actually make you profitable or prosperous, while you're living here on Earth. So a couple years later, he condensed it even more, and he came out with the shorter version, the handbook. It's called Unshakeable. And so he goes through with the jumble that's out there in the world of finances and how to, what to do with your money and the best bet. So it's a general scope, but it's narrow enough and specific enough that anybody could do it. And once you're in that, and if you can even master that level of it, which is very small percentage of people anyways, of course you can get with a little bit more sophistication, but basically it's pretty much there. You get the meat of that, and you're gonna be well off, more likely than not. So nothing's guaranteed, and obviously I'm not an official financial advisor, so please consult one of them. And he also goes into this book about how to ferret out who's legitimate and who's not, because people will go into a broker's office or a financial institution, and these people, just like any business, they're in to make money, and they're in to make money for themselves. They provide a service, and the way the laws are set up here in our society is that these people, they only have to provide you, the way the laws are written right now, with a suitable package or investment package that you can invest in. And it's not necessarily looking out for your best interests, but a mutual interest. And of course, they're lining their pockets with fees and service fees and all these unhidden costs. And it's natural for any business to charge a fee. But some of the way that they're going about it, it's kind of ludicrous, and it seems a little sneaky and underhanded and wrong. So I'll just jump into that right now. We have these things called the RIA, Registered Investment Advisor. And I'm not going to throw a lot of big words at you. I'm going to try to make this for the average man, the common person out there, just like me when I was getting started out, because this thing was so huge and so big. I was like, no thanks, even though I knew I should do it. And now at this age, at the time I'm making these videos, I'm in my mid to late 30s here, and I knew this stuff, almost a decade before, and I was obviously in different financial circumstances, but I could have had the discipline and even made the sacrifices to just get in the game. So I'm not going to explain the whole book here, and that's what you can purchase the book for. I'm going to reread it, listen to the audiobook, because this is an area of mastery, a trusted source, and when you read it, and you compare and contrast it to other financial books out there, just save you years of reading and time and information that you have to go through. This is it. This is my holy grail, if you will, of financial books. Someone had written, a big guy up in the financial world, industry world, said that if there was a Nobel Prize written for financial books, then this would be it. So, but he goes into also how these people who, the brokers or the fiduciaries, all these people who want to help you or serve you or provide a service for you, at any time they can, the laws are set up that they don't have to really reveal exactly the way that they're serving you or the fees that they're charging you. And so when you put your money, say, in an investment, and of course primarily the stock market, you give them your money to management to pick the stocks, and they put this in what's called a mutual fund. They pick the stocks, and so they know all the high flyers. You're trusting them to manage your money, pick the stocks so that you can gain money over the long term. And what happens is there's things called dividends. So say this firm, this company, they, at the end of the year or what have you, they'll give you a return on your investment. So as the stock market goes up, which is proven over time since the early 1900s, that the stock market always rises. So there's these funds, these programs, like they're called index funds, where if you invest in them, or you have a mutual fund that matches that index fund, and again, I don't want to get too wordy here because these are the type of things that scared me off, but going into this, wipe the slate clean, go in with open mind, and go in step by step and slowly, and start to take your own notes and to absorb this. It is worth your time and your investment and your sacrifice to learn this, because you deserve to maximize your financial potential, but you're not going to do that by just earning it all. You're never going to earn more than what you can earn through investing, so it's a valuable game. Plus, when it becomes to earning it, you can get sick, anything can happen, and you can lose your ability to earn money. But while you're earning and you're investing, that investing can carry you long term and can be an income for you even, or if you just want it to be something for in your retirement. There's tremendous stories of great athletes, musicians, entertainers, where maybe they're a great rock and roller and they've made so much money, and then they make an investment that they don't know anything about, or they just spend their money on houses and cars and just live in the glamorous life, and then it's all sizzled away, and they blew it. It's all burned up, and they have no new money coming in because maybe their window for being an athlete has closed. They're no longer young enough or talented enough or healthy enough to continue in their sport, or maybe their window of opportunity for making music is they've passed their prime, and that window of opportunity has closed. And so now their earning years are over and past, and either they have to reinvent themselves, or they just die dead broke. And so we don't want this for you. And so as you go into this, you go in humbly. You know that you don't know everything, and maybe even some of the stuff you do know, just put it on the shelf and go through slowly by people who have been there before. And obviously I'm presenting Ultimate Psychology channel. I'm presenting to you the Tony Robbins Unshakeable book, because this is my someone who I respect and a trusted source, and millions of people would agree. So educate yourself, right? It's normal to educate yourself. Self-education is normal. So going back to where I was going, you have people that you can give your money to, and then they try to sort of beat the market. And whether you understand this or not, just stay with me. And as you reflect upon this video or videos like it, and as you do your own independent research, it'll begin to make more sense for you. But they try to beat the market with their picks, as opposed to going with what's already, like, say, the top 500 businesses or companies in America, something like the S&P 500, where they get the top 500 companies in America and make an investment. Instead of investing in, say, just Microsoft alone or just Google alone, you can take a little bit of piece of all those companies. You don't have to be a Bill Gates. You don't have to be a Jeff Bezos. You can invest in Jeff Bezos, right? You don't have to be the Walmart family. You can invest in the Walmart family's business. And so that's how that works. But these people, by trusting them to take care of your money, they're going to be hit and miss. And yeah, they know more than you, but sometimes they can be very genuine-hearted, sincere, but they can also be sincerely wrong. They're just also sometimes doing what their bosses have told them to do, not necessarily because they know any better. So they're just doing a job, and so you don't want to, demonize them, because they're just in a state of ignorance. And so, and this is a new journey that I'm on as well, and that's why I'm seeking out the best. This is like a magnificent obsession of mine, seeking out the best of the best, because money is not something to play with, man. Right? It's just not. So it can dramatically affect the quality of our lives. And since life is short, we want to maximize our potential here and the quality that we can do all the things that money can provide, right? Of course, it's to live a great lifestyle, to have great Thanksgivings and Christmases, to give contributions to people, to worthy charity, to have a sense of security so you don't have to worry about certain catastrophes or crises coming your way, or whatever it is that money can provide. It's an essential tool. Of course, if you're kind of a mean person, you'll just be mean with more money, and you'll have more things to be mean with. If you're a kind-hearted person, a fun-loving person, you'll have more money to do those things with. So let's get back into the money part. Okay, so you're going to invest, the primary vehicle thing that you want to invest in, and this is the thing that Warren Buffett recommends. He says all his money at the end of his life, it's not going to go into individual stocks, but it's going to go into these things called index funds. So you're going to want to do your research on them. And depending on where you're starting out in your financial life, if you have a lot of money to start going, go ahead. Obviously do your research, but index funds is the thing that you want to, is a primary thing you want to look up and look into. And then there's these things, if you don't have a lot of money to start off with, there's these things called ETFs. Look into those, and ETFs are even smaller versions of shares that you can purchase inside of an index fund. And an index fund, like an S&P 500, is the way I'm going, is what I'm investing in. So that's my point, or my tip there. You don't have to copy me. But that is, through the research of the book, that's the direction that it's pointing into. Tony doesn't make any profit from the book. All the sales and proceeds goes to feeding America. His goal is to feed, I think, a billion people, or have served 1 billion meals in the next 8 years, something like that. So, as of the recording of this video, and from the time that he wrote the book a couple years ago. So, so you want to avoid the fees. And by getting involved with indexes, that'll help avoid fees, because over time, those fees that look very small, they take big chunks, because your money is compounding. So if, compounding is like, so say you invest in a bank, and super general purposes for the sake of this video, if a bank gives you like, a penny every year back for every dollar you invested, or let's say just two cents for every dollar you invested, at the end of the year, you'll give them $1, and in that investment, you'll have $1 plus 2 cents. The next year, you have $1.04. And in your third year, you're going to have $1.08. Okay? So, now you think on a grand scale, when you're making $100 investments, $1,000, so on and so forth, $10,000, annually, these things, the returns on these, also known as dividends, are going to be ba-boom, ba-boom. Every year, they're going to be doubling and they're going to be compounding, right? And if there's fees, well, those fees also compound with that compound interest. And if you kind of wipe those out to the very minuscule area, that will be remarkable savings that you can have for your retirement or for whatever it is that you want to use for the purposes of those earnings. So check it out. All right, so check it out. So the way the stock market works is, and we're also scared of the stock market, especially us millennials, because we've seen what happened in 2008, and so we're just freaked out. Also in early 2000 when we had the Twin Towers went down, it's like we do not want to put our money except under our mattress or buried in the backyard, right? That's if we even go out and do anything extraordinary with our lives financially. And there's a lot of us who are doing it, but there's a lot of us who aren't, that are missing out on the life that they can have and the financial riches that they can enjoy. But the thing is, with the stock market, there's going to be ups and downs. But like I mentioned earlier, and science has proven this, data has proven this, you look at the track record of the overall American economy, we're the best of the best, we're the best out there, and we will continue to rise. We're going to have our ups and downs, but we're going to continue to rise over time. So we're going to go up, down, like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And so market crashes and corrections, they happen once a year. This is very cyclical and almost very predictable. We don't know the exact timing of these things because it's not that much of a science, because you can never know, because it's also dealt with human emotion. But the core key principle is that when you've invested lots of money into the stock market, when the market goes down, that's when you should not panic, because your value of your money is going down. You should get excited. And that's actually when you should go in and purchase more, because everybody's selling their shares, meaning their shares are going on discount or they're going on sale, and you can swoop up all of these things. Warren Buffett likes to say, when people are greedy, I'm going to paraphrase here, you should be concerned. When they're concerned, you should be greedy. And so it's counterintuitive, but most people, they get sick to their stomach and they pull out of the market, and then the market usually rebounds and they miss out on all those gains that they could have had. And usually when it rebounds, it launches back up to higher levels. So financial winter is coming. It's going to come. It's going to hit. But then after that, of course, financial spring and financial summer. And the whole thing is that you make in these investments for the long term. Don't get sucked in or seduced by the short term scariness of it all, and have the emotional resolve to make the commitment that you're going to take your emotions outside of it, other than rejoicing, knowing that the economy will always rebound and recover, and that you'll be thankful that you did, because the upside is so much more plentiful and exciting. So, okay, so that's aside. And also too, that you don't want 100% of your proceeds, as based in the book, or all of your money going into the stock market. Tony Robbins interviewed Ray Dalio. Ray Dalio is another big, super huge guy in the financial world, and his recommendation, he calls it the all-season portfolio, or the all-weather portfolio. And the way that this is we don't put all our eggs in one basket. We know that. The thing is we have to have diversity. You don't want to be so diverse, but there's 5 core areas that he says, just for the common man to understand. And that's going to be, and he'll give the percentages, and this percentages is actually in Money, Master the Game, Tony's first big behemoth book. So you might want to check both of those out. But he goes into stating that, and you can get this through the library, online audiobooks. There's no excuses for you not to get into the game and master your money. But the key areas are, so get in today, okay? Call your financial advisor, start making these things happen. People want your services, and they're willing to help you out, because when you win, we all win. So, and again, do your research so you know who's credible and who's not, and then make your best judgments going from there. Feel free to email me or contact me, and we can set up a chat. But there's you have your stocks, you have a little bit in gold, a little bit in commodities. That's like in natural gas or oils, or even like livestock, stuff like that. The price of pork, or cow meat, and stuff like that. So you have commodities, you have gold, you have your stocks, and then you have long-term bonds, and you have intermediate term bonds. So that way, these 5 areas, sometimes the stocks are down, but maybe gold is rising, or gold is going down, but something in your commodities is hot. So you always want something generating, so it's like covering all the bases. So that way, no matter what the financial season or storm is, it's usually not going to wipe out all 5, and you'll have something stronger than the rest that can continue carrying you on through your days. So that's your financial portfolio. It's going to be those 5 different key areas. Yeah, and so this is your safest bet. With the money, I want to quick transition real quick back to the mutual funds. And it took me a while to figure some of these terms out, but rarely does somebody beat the market. There's some unicorns out there that can beat index funds, but it's not likely. I heard there was a bet, like $1 million bet between Warren Buffett and this other group, and he had his strategy, and they're like, no, that's too conservative. You got to be able to do this, and it looks like he won the bet. So there goes to the Oracle of Omaha, or whatever his moniker name is. Lastly, I want to cover in this book is the 401k plan. Most of us were not, business owners, self-employed, moguls or nothing like that. We're going to be those 9-to-5 millionaires, and that's what we want to become if that's your station or your lot in life. And so you have your 401k plan, and he recommends America's Best 401k. And it shows you that there's a lot of things too that need to be presented. So check out that. If you're a 401k person, check out America's Best 401k.com. And there's some mind-blowing things involved with that that you're gonna really want to check it out. And last but not least, going into true wealth, it's the emotions of joy, emotions of gratitude. You can have the money, but be depressed, and what's it all for? It'd be all meaningless and nothing anyways. Check out the book of Ecclesiastes in the Bible. So we want to not just have the money, we want to have our cake and eat it too. Enjoy the money and enjoy the lives with a sense of gratitude that we're blessed beings here on earth, and that with or without money, that we can still rejoice in the Lord and knowing that we are fully loved, fully known, and fully loved. So thank you for watching. God bless you. Please comment below what you found useful, or anything that you'd like to have a direct communication with, and hit me up and we can have a separate Skype conversation. I'll give you 15, 20, 30 minutes for free, just so we can talk and get your financial life on track, so that you can master the game of money and win in your financial life. So God bless you. Thank you for watching. Xavier Garcia signing out. See you on the next video. Love with freedom.